Hey, I'm Jay Kumar, the BassBlaster, and this is your Abu Garcia REVO and Humminbird Minn Kota top 5 tips and trends of the month. Number 1. Yeah, that's right. It's spooning in deep water with forward-facing sonar for big bass. Back in the day,
around 4 years ago.
Yeah, about that long. Before forward-facing sonar took off, guys really only spooned at certain times of the year when that bite was really on and at known spooning lakes like Lake Fork in Texas. But a few guys showed it could be a playa all over the country, notably this guy. Of course, that's Bassmaster Elite Series Pro Chris Zaldain, and that video is from 6 years ago when he almost won the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Guntersville, Alabama with a big flutter spoon. In fact, I believe he had the winning fish on a few times, but lost it, which we'll come back to in a sec. Anyhow, that was pre-forward-facing sonar. So fast forward to now, and I asked Chris if forward-facing sonar helps his spoon game. Answer, yes. Here's a couple tidbits from him. Magnum spooning is all offshore stuff. You don't throw it on a seawall or main point, you're off the bank. Prior to forward-facing sonar, you had to be a map-reading wizard to notice the little drop-offs, high spots, etc. Now you don't have to be as swift on the map. If you see an area that looks halfway decent, shine the scope over there. And then he says you're actually feeling for the bite. You see the fish on forward-facing, but you actually feel them crush it. And when you see them, you're on high alert, expecting to feel a bite. So forward-facing sonar helps find spoon fish easier and quicker, but it might not help when you're setting the hook on one. But should you spend time in a tournament day looking for spoon fish? If you're not Chris Zaldain. Yes, for one big reason, and here's Chris again telling it. The thing about a spoon, it catches the biggest fish that's in that offshore school. I've seen it time and time again. I'll pull up on a brush pile or a ledge and you'll notice one bigger fish than the rest. For some reason, in those warmer water temps, a fluttering, spinning piece of metal coming from the heavens above, the biggest fish in the group always eats it first.
There it is.
Yep. How many baits do you know of where the biggest fish in a school will come out and blast it? None. Well, now you know one. His spooning gear is a Bass Mafia Big Larry spoon, which he helped design, and he said it's hard to beat the color chrome. A rod that's basically a deep cranking rod, a higher speed reel, and the big key is the line and leader setup. He uses 50-pound Seaguar Smackdown in the flash green color to a ball-bearing swivel to 25-pound Seaguar Tatsu fluorocarbon for a leader. Now, you remember that Guntersville tournament where he had the winning fish on a couple times? He said that was his lesson, not to use straight fluoro to a spoon because it stretches too much on the hook set. What else can we do with forward-facing sonar and flutter spoons? Number 2. Do you remember this? That's Drew Benton winning his first Bassmaster Elite in 2018 when he said he was fist bumping his imaginary Sasquatch friend. All right, maybe not that squatch part, but Drew did win that deal on Lake Travis in Texas, and he won it doing this. He was flutter spooning docks 7 years ago. That's way before the aliens came here and traded forward-facing sonar technology for what's rumored to be many pallets of Twinkies. All right, not sure if that's true or false exactly, but back to flutter spooning docks. I guess we should expect that it's even better now with forward-facing sonar because you should be able to tell what fish are under the docks to begin with, and after you pattern it, whether a fish is under the right type of docks or a big enough fish, and of course see the fish come after your bait.
Said you got that right. Show got that right.
Skinner. All right, here's a little piece of a good video showing how to flutter spoon docks using forward-facing sonar. The guy in it is Will Bates, a former college bass fisherman who now writes software for Humminbird.
So whoever this guy is, he's smart.
Yeah, he's smart and he can fish. Here you go.
What's super cool about these big spoons is when you throw it out there, like the slide back, and you can follow it on Mega Live. And see them get back and target those fish that just don't get hit a lot. Another important thing that we've really improved with Mega Live 2 is just how reactive the system is. When I turn it and I see a school like that, I just know I can immediately fire over there and be on them. Yep, just like that. Oh God, there he is. Gotta swing him. Oh, not a striper. Just a Lake Lanier special.
Does that look fun or what? Just know that you're probably not mimicking bait fish. It's purely a reaction deal.
Right back in their faces. Thank you.
That's right, man. Now just be aware that if you get too close to the docks, things can happen.
Catching fish is more like no one else.
That's, you know, that's getting in touch with the water right there. That's getting to know your water.
That's great, man. How many guys have fallen in on national TV? Number 3. Back in the day, if you rigged a bait on a jig head like this, people would think something's wrong with you. Or you were... yeah, maybe crazy from the heat. Anyhow, times have changed.
It's time we change too.
For sure, if you're pinging a minnow and want it to roll, which basically everyone does. Bassmaster Elite Pro Jacob Fouts is a forward-facing sonar stick, but he said he really just got onto this deal, where you can take any regular jig head and top rig it on a minnow to get it to roll.
So if you take your jig head and you run the hook right to the base of that notch and just go right below the skin there, run it down, make sure it's straight, it's going to come out. So it's going to look like just like that right there. It makes this bait roll super easy, super aggressive if you want to shake your rod really fast, and if you want to be super subtle, it'll roll super subtle as well. So
there you go. Now he's using a Bertec tackle minnow, but any minnow will work. He also said he can get minnows to roll that way, even using really light jig heads. I gotta mention too that we have more and more top weighted jig heads that are designed to get that all-important roll with a minnow. Here's a couple, and one of the most interesting to me is the new Buckeye Piggyback. Now take a good look at that picture. Do you see how the head doesn't need to be right at the front of the bait? Pretty interesting, and it might be real useful at times. Now all these jig heads are so new that a lot of guys haven't fished them yet, let alone figured them out. Can't wait to see what happens, man. Yeah, let them roll. Number 4. Can you bomb an unweighted plastic worm out there and see it on your forward-facing sonar?
Nah.
Well, maybe if you had a giant hook in it or a transducer like this. Or now there's a third option, a realistic one. That's the new, at least to the United States, hide-up chain worm. Hide-up is a Japanese company that I believe came up with the first fuzzy bait or tentacle bait in Japan. The koiki or koiki, whatever it's called, I think that was the first one. Anyhow, the chain worm is exactly what it sounds like, namely a soft plastic worm with a metal chain in it. Now what you apparently get with that is a good sonar return, more durability, a little more weight, and rigging options like this. So far it only comes in 3 inches, and here's what it looks like in real life. Now putting chains in worms is new to me.
Unnatural.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that, but anyway, a BassBlaster reader told me that the first chain worm, which had the exact same name, came out in 1968. The company was Burke or Berkey with an E on the end out of Michigan. Shout out to the guy who sent me that, and also to the Bass Fishing Archives, which actually had that old Berkey catalog page.
I found it in the archives.
Yes, I did. Number 5. All right, how deep are you into this bass fishing thing?
Deep.
Okay, that's what I figured. Deep enough to use 2 or 3 brands of electronics? Deep enough to have Garmin Live Scope, but you also need Humminbird 360 and LakeMaster maps? Well, I can help you with the Garmin LakeMaster thing, or actually I can't, but the guys at NBT Marine can.
No way.
Yes way. Now you might recall that NBT got known for making those giant 22-inch screens that guys were running live scope on. Well, NBT owner Mitch Petrick has continued to innovate, and one of his new deals is this, the HQ interface box. That's the black box, which looks like a sonar black box in the bottom right. And the main deal here is those icons on the lower left. You can see the Humminbird One Boat Network, C-Maps, Lowrance C-Maps, and other stuff. Which means you can use those apps and maps, plus Google Earth and more, right there on your Garmin screen. And you can even split the screen when you do it. Pretty dang cool, huh?
Pretty cool.
All right, Mitch said that the LiveScope Plus needing LakeMaster maps was a big request from a bunch of the top pros in the country. You ever wonder with all this technology stuff, what's coming next?
Maybe they're already here.
They? All right, that's all I got for you this time. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Abu Garcia REVO and Minn Kota Humminbird. See you next month with the top tips and trends in bass fishing. God bless you.